My dream was strange and felt like I took a trip through a time machine. As soon as I drifted off to sleep, I seemed to wake up moments later in a different environment and clothes. What the hell? One moment I'm on the bed in the trailer, the next I'm in a horse-drawn buggy, traveling through a cobblestone street.
Has my songbird had a delightful nap?
I heard Spectre's voice say. I saw a thin young man sitting in the driver's seat with his back facing me. His hair was short and dark brown, while he wore a white shirt and suspenders with black dress slacks. Yes, I did. I guess performing had worn me out. I answered. I took a moment to see that I wore the same dress from the photo, and my hair is not pastel purple, but a dirty blonde color. This is my ancestor's memory I am experiencing.
You were in slumber in your dressing room, and I fetched you away from that place. Lenore, you deserve to perform professionally. You could have a higher pay from a music studio. I grow concerned for your happiness.
I mean that much to you?
No, that is a very silly question of you. Of course, I care deeply for you. You should not be surprised how lovable you are, my dear.
I watched as we traveled to the public park. It was a lush green field with magnolia trees and children's playground equipment. The buggy came to a stop, and I saw the man's face as he turned around. It was the same man from the photo as well. He crawled into the buggy and joined me on the passenger seat. My face burned while he lifted my chin with a forefinger and thumb.
Has any mortal ever told you that your eyes are aquamarine gems that, upon being beholden, can hypnotize, my dear?
No, you're the first to say so, I said slowly. My heart felt like it was on fire while the palms of my hands tingled.
Perhaps be the very first to kiss you like a shameless scoundrel?
He asked, leaning closer to my face. I've never been kissed before, I managed to say.
Then allow me to be the first to give you such a privilege, my dear, for this is your first time,
he said, his lips meeting mine in a soft peck. I closed my eyes to enjoy the moment and was compelled to kiss him in return. He moved my hair aside and gave me another kiss, while I could not stop myself but return again and embrace him closely. Arthur hugged me as well and whispered in my ear.
Lenore, I had heard you perform on stage for a very long time. You project your emotions more into the lyrics than you perhaps tend to lead on. From your happy tunes to your sad ballads. Others may dismiss it as simply a performance, but I know that you need to be loved. When you sing about exorcising demons that have caused harm towards you, it grasped my attention. You can tell me who these cretins are.
My parents were awful to me while I was growing up. It still haunts me, Arthur, and my manager of the club has not helped me either. You're the first to truly be kind to me, I said, feeling embarrassed to admit my tormentors.
Did they perhaps inspire you to sing about being a doll with a unpatched and tattered face?
Yes, I said. A few tears rolled down my face. Arthur wiped the tears away with his thumbs and kissed me upon the forehead.
No. Well, my dear, all you need simply is loving glue. Will you allow me to put you back together?
He inquired. A few more tears rolled down my face while I nodded, feeling his hand cradle my head to his chest and the chin rest on my scalp. It was a loving feeling when my guard had been dropped and felt protected by another person. Thank you, Arthur. I love you, I confessed.
As do I hold the same affections towards you, my dear. I love you greatly. You're a sweet siren who lowered myself to you. I will not allow anyone to hurt you. Never again.
Arthur, you two-timer! I heard a younger version of Agnes shout from a distance.
Gone, you vile little thing!
We are supposed to marry in a week from now! She shouted, the voice becoming louder, and I heard footsteps approach.
I cannot simply marry a vapid trollop such as yourself.
Oh, come now, he was just a plaything to me, she protested. Should I leave? I asked, feeling awkward to be the other woman. Yes, she said.
That is simply preposterous.
You're doing the right thing by offering, Agnes said firmly.
No, I say. Due to how Lenore makes me feel appreciated, nor does she flirt with other men in front of me.
He countered, holding me closer. What is your name, dearie? Agnes asked, being in my line of sight. I could tell it was the same person with similar facial features, but younger, and had raven black hair done in curls. She looked similar to the cartoon Betty Boop. Lenore? I replied, showing a sheepish grin. Well, Lenore, you shall not have him, nevermore! She roared. I let out a soft growl and yelled out, Who the hell are you to decide that for him? He made his choice, and you should accept it like an adult. You're not his mother. Agnes gasped while holding a hand near her chest, and she exclaimed, You do not talk to me like that! I am the minister's daughter! Isn't that a little ironic? I asked, chuckling. Oh, what's so funny, you hussy? She hissed.
She is speaking of that you have sinned while being born from a home of virtue, you fool!
I will get you for this, mark my words! She screamed, crying and running away.
I do greatly apologize for that, my dear. She is the reason why I was drawn to you.
Considering what she had done, I could not blame you for ceasing your courtship with that woman. Frankly, I would have done the same thing, I said, trying to lighten his mood.
There are a few tasks I must amend to before we are to be safe from her influence.
Is there anything I could do? I asked. He smiled to me, holding my hand, and said,
Yes, indeed you can, my dear. I need you to sing a song about angels coming down from heaven.
I could find the right lyrics if that will make you happy, I said.
Whose need to wake up?
I heard Leslie's voice call out. Huh? I asked for a moment.
Whose need to wake up, Toots?
Hearing his voice call out louder. One moment, I was in the buggy, and the next moment, I was in the bed of the trailer.
You weren't breathing, you scared us.
He wailed while hugging me close and crying heavily.
Oh, thank fucking goodness. Jesus, fuck. You were out cold. And, well, you were fucking cold to the damn touch.
You will not believe the dream I had.
Don't just fucking stand there. Spill it out. We have to know.
I began to tell him of the events, including the romantic parts, as embarrassing as it had been to report.
This is sort of sounding like a soap opera here. Hold on a second here. I think I know what she experienced.
Ben said, sitting on the bed with us.
Oh, now you's gotta tell us, Mr. Owazimo. Well, at least from my knowledge, people can only go to the past of their own memories. She is the reincarnated soul of her ancestor. Just some sort of crazy living storybook, Winnie. Hey, things like this happen for a reason.
It's not like I asked for this to happen. Have you ever thought about that?
Okay, I'm sorry.
All I know is that this needs to stop and quick. How we are able to do it, I'm not sure.
Fine. I'll show you, at least after we've all had some decent fucking sleep.
I nodded in agreement.
Yous mind if I, help you sleep on? Nothing weird or anything like that.
Wouldn't that be awkward for you?
Who's helped me with the nightmare and your ace, and, we both don't give a fuck, so why should this count?
You have a point, I said. He laid down on the bed to place my head on his chest and began to hum a song I had heard on the radio before. The gestures were soothing enough to have me drift comfortably to sleep, hugging my mother in the process.